I touched on this in a previous video, but it is related. It is about the acid attacks that are happening. A lot in central London, but throughout Britain. Okay, now this man was attacked in his car with his cousin. You know, he had to be put in a coma. He had to be placed in a coma in order to be treated for the burns. That's his cousin. Now, it's been happening a lot against Muslims because there's been a lot of Muslim hate crime recently. But it also happens a lot to women. This woman was attacked by her boyfriend. Okay. This man, a hospital worker, moped muggers, that's another thing that's rising, where people drive by on a moped and snatch your mobile phone out of your hand or your bag or whatever it is you've got. They sprayed acid in his face. A hospital worker outside the hospital. They squirted liquid at the father of 3, snatched his rucksack, which contained just hospital scrubs and a phone charger. The gang kicked and punched the junior medic as he lay on the road. So, you know, it was a brutal mugging. It was a hate crime and also a theft. And he was fortunate in the sense that he was right next to the hospital. They were able to immediately scrub him down. In London, a nightclub, 20 people suffered chemical burns. 2 people lost the sight in one eye. Getting up, I could feel like my arm was burning. It was like boiling water had been poured over me, but like I was cut as well. I've never experienced anything like it. It was excruciating. We saw 6 other girls who had it in their eyes, faces and chest areas. They were screaming and crying. That was in London. That's the impact of it. Because these are the kind of things that are happening. Sharp rising number of acid attacks. London, 261 in 2015, 454 in 2016, rise of 74%. So how many is it going to be this year? 800? 3 schoolboys arrested after acid attack at East London School. So, you know, I've signed this petition. I ask everybody, sign this petition today. Share it. Talk about it. Ask everybody you know. Get in touch with your MP. Google, write to them. It's very easy. You'll get a link. You get on it. You type in your postcode and you'll see your MP's name. You click on that name. You can write an email to that MP. It will then be sent a copy to your email address. You confirm that, yes, I do want to send this email, and then it will be sent. And they will check with you as well to see if your MP bothered to reply. A teenager can easily walk into a store and purchase this lethal substance off the shelf. So all those people that were marching through London today were all at risk. Now, don't you think it's strange that this is freely available, that hundreds of people every year have been attacked by acid? People throughout Britain, because this is a crime that's against the 99% are at risk of this crime. The people on earth. And we need to understand that we're living in a society now that's heavily pressured with austerity. People without hope start to go crazy. Crazy people are dangerous. Crazy people can go into a DIY store, buy a load of acid and start just going squirting the general public with it if they want. Okay? That's why we try to live in a humane society. That's why we don't have things like that freely available. Oh, but we do. But this now is evidence, isn't it? Look at the wall of insanity. Because why is it that the British public have to get a petition together to beg our government to prohibit sale of this stuff to anybody unless they have a licence? And I would go further and say it needs to be kept under lock and key. They need to prove that it's going to be kept under lock and key. We, the public, after over 1,000 people in London since 2010, goodness knows how many throughout Britain as a whole, have been damaged permanently by this. But it's still freely available. The government hasn't banned it. What? Did the public have to petition the government to ban cannabis? No. So a harmless plant that's never harmed or killed anybody is banned, and we've got our police are already underfunded, slashed police force, having to deal with prosecuting and investigating people over a harmless plant. But there's not been one arrest. There's not been one arrest for the 454 acid attacks in London. Because, you know, that's what a police spokeswoman said here. No arrests have been made. The police are investigating. Is that referring to that report? To this story? Or is it to as a whole? It isn't really clear. So this is even worse than a gun or a knife. Do not wind your window down. Anybody taps on your car, do not wind your window down. But how can any of us really protect ourselves from this? But like I say, it's evidence. It's evidence. Now, I remember in the 1980s, there was a substance, a herbal supplement came available called germanium. And I started using it, and I'd used it for a month, and the results were incredible. It was purported to oxygenate your blood, and I must say, my skin has always been very pale, and I had rosy cheeks, and I just felt so much more energetic, so much better. And I went back to the health store to buy some more. Oh, it's gone. Not on the shelves. What's happened to it? I said to the store owner. Oh, it's been banned. I said, banned? She says, yeah, it's been banned. Because some people got kidney damage. Because somebody was selling the non-organic germanium. Because there's organic germanium, which is taken from plants. And then there's non-organic germanium, which is extracted from metal. It's used in industry. It's dangerous. If you have that, it will give you kidney damage. Well, apparently, 100 people, if that, had suffered kidney damage through taking the non-organic germanium that had been sold to them as organic germanium. Okay, so because that had happened, immediately, it was banned. Germanium was banned. Every store owner had to take it off the shelves. And I thought it was really strange, because I thought, well, products are tested. If you go to a reputable herbalist, you know, they test their stuff. They can say, yeah, this is organic. So why was there any threat? Because that's the threat that runs with everything. And then you've got stuff like paracetamol, which every year people die from paracetamol poisoning. Not through even trying to commit suicide. It damages your liver. But anybody can go and buy paracetamol off a supermarket shelf. So when the internet came available, what I did check on the germanium, the organic germanium, and I found out it didn't just oxygenate your blood, it actually protected you from cancer. You were like many times less likely to develop cancer if you took this substance. Oh, then I understood why the government immediately banned it. It was created by a Japanese medic, and it's still banned in Britain to this day. Organic germanium. Even though they know it's only the non-organic germanium that can damage your kidneys, they have banned still the organic germanium. It is not available. Cannabis. It's banned. Why? So what does that tell us? What does that tell us? Without any of the other crap that they bring into it all, all the confusions, stuff them out. Just look at the absolute fact of it, that the consciousness that is ruling us, our so-called government, has banned germanium, it's banned cannabis. But this stuff, any teenager can walk into a store and do that to anybody. Any mad person. And then you drop in austerity. And you look at the levels of depression that then becomes depravity, that then becomes insanity, that then seeks outlet like an electrical energy, wants to hit Earth. Who's on the Earth? Us. We're all at risk from this. And yet 450 people got terribly injured, damaged by this in London just last year, and the authorities themselves have not got together to get this stuff banned, and it's still available, and we the public are having to ask our government to ban it. That should tell you everything you need to know. You don't need to know anything else. You don't need to know about right and left politics or Islamic extremism or anything. You just need to know that there are mad people in this world, and this system feeds off them. Fear and terror, that's what it feeds off. And so why has cannabis been banned? Yeah, what does cannabis do? It calms people down. If you're feeling really angry and stressed and you have a spliff or a little bit of cannabis in your tea, oh, suddenly you're relaxed. Ah, that don't serve the New World Order shite, does it? Relaxed, calm people. No, they want angry, mad people. The kind of people who are going to go and walk into a store and buy a lethal substance off the shelf and just be able to go and spray everybody with it because they're having a bad day. And, you know, the expense as well, even on our NHS. You know, not only here is an NH staff injured, and there's already, we haven't got enough of them, okay? But, you know, NHS funds last year then have had to be spent on treating 454 people who otherwise would not have needed any hospital treatment, okay? This man was in intensive care. He had to be put in a coma, an artificially induced coma, to treat him. This is deadly, deadly serious. And it is time now. You know, the people of Britain, you know, as I say, recently I am so overwhelmed at the public display of compassion And the humanity, it has totally restored my faith in the British people, which I did always hope was there, but like I say, we don't see it in the media. The media doesn't show it. We're all, every individual of us who is compassionate and genuinely cares about our planet and life and the children, you know, we're all isolated, aren't we, because the media doesn't give us a voice. We're denied, but the public has found its voice in speaking out, you know, and now Jeremy Corbyn is the figurehead of that. I hope he proves worthy, because, you know, I have lost faith in politicians. That is the truth of it, that they've all stayed in that parliament while all this horror has been going on. They've supported the status quo. Well, it is now it is up to we, the public, because that's where the sanity is. We're dealing, up there is insanity. They are insane. Okay, that's the fact of it. They thrive on fear and terror and sickness and disease. So yeah, naturally, a plant that inhibits cancer, a herbal remedy that inhibits cancer, will be immediately banned by the government on the pretext that some unscrupulous people might be selling the non-organic form. But there's unscrupulous people selling poisonous things all the time. That's why we buy from reputable stores, isn't it? But oh no, that isn't allowed. You know what I mean? We we ban it all. And it's still banned. Cannabis, which actually calms people who've been driven crazy by living in a crazy world, that will calm them down so they won't do anything like this. Oh no, let's ban that as well. So increase the crazy and also feed it, you know, feed it. And we, the public, are having to request that this is banned. And that is all we need to know. That's all we need to know. So it is time now to demand that cannabis is decriminalised immediately. We want it immediately decriminalised. As quickly as they banned uranium, we want it decriminalised. As quickly as they banned cannabis, we want it decriminalised. We want this stuff sold under strict licence and proof. The people that buy it have to prove that it is under lock and key. Okay? Because this cannot continue. And as I say, understand it for what it is. It is the absolute proof and evidence of all the evidence that you ever needed to understand the monster that is ruling our lives and our country. Because no authority that will ban cannabis and organic germanium, okay, but will leave stuff like this freely available for any teenager to buy, and even children in a school have been attacked, and still it's available. You don't need to know anything else. We are all at risk from this insanity that is governing us, and it is time that we turned our world the right way up, because our society, a human society, serves humanity. It protects and defends humanity. It upholds our human rights. Okay? It does not deny us our natural, harmless, health-inducing, health-protecting products, whilst at the same time making freely available lethal substances that can just injure people at will, wherever, whenever. Even just in a nightclub, we could all be sprayed. That's a worry that everybody has to go walking around with. Understand the fear and terror that they are propelling, instigating, permitting allowing, giving freedom to, and at the same time prohibiting something like cannabis that actually calms people down, and prohibiting cancer preventing herbal remedies like that instantly. 2 weeks, gone. Yeah. And this stuff, it is still around after 450 people last year, over 1,000 people since 2010, and it's still there. You can still go and buy it, and it's got to the extent that children in schools are spraying it around. Oh, come on. You don't need to think no more. You don't need to know anything else. You don't need to be left politics or right politics, do you, to understand your human rights and what is really controlling us here, who is really in charge. It isn't anything sane, it's not anything human. Well, it's about time I have faith the people of Britain rise up. It's time we showed these people we are human beings, okay, and it is time for our sanity, our common sense and our sanity and our humanity to rise up and to absolutely demand. And so, as I say, sign this petition. I'll leave you the links underneath this video. Sign it, write to your MP. I'm going to write to my MP tonight, and I implore everybody, get behind this and understand it for evidence as well. This is evidence. It's evidence, and it totally now raises the question of why cannabis has been banned. And as I say, it is essential that cannabis now is made freely available to people, because everybody is under very high stress. The human consciousness needs food, and cannabis is soul food, and it will it calms people down. We need to remove the criminal aspect of it. Everybody needs it. We need our medicine, okay? And this stuff, I want to see it banned. It's the 1st of July today. I want to see this banned by next Friday, because I tell you now, if they can ban cannabis like that overnight, if they can ban germanium overnight, then this can be removed from every shelf overnight, and whoever buys it has to give their name, and they have to report to the police and show that it's kept under lock and key and apply for a license, okay? That is what we need. And as I say, now we want cannabis absolutely decriminalised, and also germanium, organic germanium. Thank you for listening. Take courage, take strength. As I say, we are each a single rainbow. Sorry, we are each a single raindrop, and together we are the storm that delivers the rainbow into life. Be a rainbow.